Oh, hello there, fellow beginner. Are you looking to create a WordPress website today? If so, we've got just the tutorial for you because I'm going to show you how to make a complete website with WordPress from scratch. To use this video tutorial, you don't need the following things. You don't need any previous computer experience whatsoever and can be a total beginner. You don't need any coding skills, and you don't need to know how to code or anything like that. And you don't need the experts. You don't need to call up anyone for help because we're going to learn how to do it ourselves today. However, to make this website, you do need a few things. You need a computer. Any PC, Mac, Linux, Windows, desktop, laptop, or whatever you're using will work fine with this website, and it's going to look great. You also need the internet. Whoa! And you need the desire to learn and the ability to follow some simple directions. One of the coolest things about the website that we're going to learn how to make is that it's 100% mobile-friendly, responsive. So no matter what device your customers or your audience are reading the website from, the website will look great. And that's because it responds to the size of any device. And I thought you'd like that feature. We can see the website looks great on my tablet here. It'll also look good on any mobile device like the one I have here. This is just an iPhone, but it'll look good on Androids and all other smartphones and normal phones as well too. And the website, of course, looks good on normal, larger computers. So that's pretty cool. To make this tutorial as easy as possible for you, I've already picked out a popular WordPress theme for us to use as we build the website, and it's just called Vantage. Sort of like the word advantage, but just Vantage for short. And a theme is synonymous with the words template, layout, skin, or design. Every WordPress website needs a theme. It's sort of like a new makeover for your site, and the one we're going to use is particularly easy and good for business, e-commerce, portfolio websites, and also if you want to make this website for a client, it's really good for that too. Alright, before we begin, thanks so much for watching. If you learned anything at all today, please make sure to hit thumbs up and subscribe, and if you really feel helpful, share the video. I'd appreciate that a ton. I said I was a fellow beginner at the start because I remember when I was just learning this stuff not too long ago, like you might be, and I believe in learning new stuff every day. Alright, so that said, let's go and check out what we're going to make. Let's do it. Now I'm going to take you on a tour of this website so you can be sure that it's what you want to make. We're going to learn how to create this logo right here, which says Vantage, but it can say whatever you want and have whatever sort of icon you want right here, and how to change the color. I'm going to show you how to insert a standard navigation menu next to the logo, and a couple different ways to position this menu, and how to include a search bar so users can search your website. And then we can set up this huge background image with a photo that you've taken on your iPhone. We're going to only use photos shot on iPhone because you should never trust a website that uses stock images. That's just something I believe in. And then on top of the image, I'm going to show you how to write whatever sort of text you want, and then how to insert one or two buttons, and how to use this play button right here, which you can create, and let people click that, and it'll open up a nice video that could be all about your company or an advertisement or your services or just some beautiful nature, and help your website come to life with the video content as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. Moving down, we're going to see how to insert these social media icons to whatever social media profiles you manage, and how to design them with different colors and different icon colors as well. And then we're going to learn how to change the copyright in the footer, because believe it or not, that's something a ton of people ask me. When you click on this button, it'll take you to the top of the website, and we can click on our About page. We're going to learn how to create 4 pages total, and this is the second page where you can insert another full screen image. This image is styled after Snapchat with this overlay bar, and I'm going to show you all how to do that because I know Snapchat is popular now with youngsters and oldsters and everyone in between. And you can use this to talk about your mission or whatever it is you want users to do on your website or however you want them to feel. And then coming down, I'll show you how to insert some nice text with enough space that people can read it. We like a lot of space. We don't like content that's smashed together like this. We like spaciousness and relaxed feelings. And then after that text, I'm going to show you how to insert these 3 images side by side. And then after that, you can put in more text. And if you want, you can build this page endlessly so that people keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and can keep devouring your beautiful content. We're going to make this exact website you see right here, but of course you can make a website about anything. You can make a website about auto insurance or finance, fitness, gardening, fashion, the future, whatever it is you want to make a website about. Our website will be compliant with all of the necessary regulations and rules. We're going to have a credits page where we give credit to those who've helped our website. And I'm going to show you how to style it with this nice pretty image slider so that wherever people are on your website, they get a nice enjoyable experience. And lastly, we're going to set up a contact page. On the contact page, we'll insert this full screen map and then below a headline where you can tell people where to go or how to contact you or just say hello. In this case, I want you to visit the WordPressExperience.com where we run a WordPress forum for fast and free support. People can just click there and ask any question they want about WordPress and get answers in real time. And I really do want you to click that link, so that's why I put it there, because this is a real website. And you're going to learn how to create the little things like icons and links and all too. One of the coolest things about this website is it uses a Google contact form that people can use to send you links or pictures or files or just little messages. No one really likes seeing those bland contact forms anymore. It sort of tells users that you don't want to hear from them or don't want to be personal. And I want to give your website a personal touch with a Google contact form. So that's pretty cool. And the home link, which will take us back to our nice massive image. And of course you can use these buttons here to navigate the website as well. Every feature on this website works, and I've looked over every detail meticulously, running through this so many times I felt like I couldn't do it anymore. And that's just so that you know that your website will look good and will work. You won't get a website that's half built or incomplete like so many web designers will make for you today. Again, all this is going to be easy and fun. You don't need to have any previous computer experience, and you don't need to know any code to build this website. Alright, so if you're ready, I'm ready. Go ahead and get yourself a coffee or a glass of water or whatever it is you like to drink. And let's begin to make this exact website. I know you're going to love it, and I can't wait to get started. Alright, so let's get started. And to help us get through this video, I've made us a little website checklist here. The first thing we're going to need to do is register your domain name. Our domain name is going to be madetoblog.com. We can see it up here in the URL browser bar, madetoblog.com. But you could register a .net, a .org, a .biz, or whatever you want. I do recommend the .com though, if you can get it, because it's the most recognizable. You want your website to be a no-brainer to find, and the domain name to be as simple as possible. And if you have any questions on picking the right domain name or picking between 2 domain names, let me know in the comments. I'll help you work that out. I do this for people all the time. Your domain name costs $15 a year. That's the standard price that everyone pays for a domain name. Next, we need to get hosting, which is just some space for our website to live, some space to put our images and our buttons and our colors and our text. And you need to get hosting so that people can access your website. Hosting is just a computer that's turned on 24/7, 365, where we put all of our stuff so people can access it. And that costs $10 a month. Again, that's the standard price. And that's the most expensive part of making a website. As someone who makes websites and blogs for a living and relies on the internet to pay my bills and to live my life, I can't tell you how important it is to find a good place to register your domain and hosting together. And that's why we're going to use HostGator.com in this tutorial, where you can fortunately get your hosting and your domain name together. And guess what? Because you're doing this with me, we're going to get the domain name for much less than $15, so forget about that. And for much less than $10 a month, so forget about that. Those are both going to come out to about $5 a month together for both of those, instead of those larger prices. After we register our domain name and hosting at HostGator, we're going to install WordPress, WordPress.org, the full version, and that part is free. You just need those two things in place, and then you can install WordPress and do whatever you want on the web for free, just like Fortune 500 brands and companies use the same thing they use. And then after we install WordPress, we can install the Vantage theme onto it. Remember, the theme is like the structural foundation of our home, and we just sort of build that in there with a couple clicks, no coding or computer knowledge necessary, and that part is free. And then after that, we're going to create content, and you better believe that the content we're going to create is going to be free, as it always should be. Alright, so like I said, the total bill for our website is going to come out to about $5 per month to run a website. And we're going to register our domain name and our hosting for 1 year, 12 months. So our total bill today is going to be about $60. And my websites make me such a good and healthy living that it's just something that I would never go without. And I hope you can see it that way too. It's really important to have a website. And if you look at the $5 a month, that could be just a tip on a dinner bill. That could be $5 you don't spend going out to lunch, or maybe you choose not to buy candy at the movies, even though we all love candy, or just something like that. You can picture that. $5 a month, it's really easy to find that money, and having a website is so much more worth many of the things we spend $5 a month on. Alright, we'll refer back to our checklist as we complete this tutorial, but for now, let's just go over to HostGator.com, where we're going to register our domain name and our hosting together in the same package. So just follow me to HostGator.com. Alright, and welcome to HostGator. This is the same company I use to host all my websites and blogs. If you think of hosting a party or hosting people at your apartment, this is sort of the same kind of hosting. You're just putting your WordPress website on the HostGator hosting space. I've tried out a ton of other web hosts for different projects and different clients, and for a while I thought it was all really difficult to use, but then I realized that the problem was just those hosts made it tough. At HostGator, it's never difficult to use. They're very user-friendly, so easy a beginner can do it, as I'm going to show you in a second. They're one of the 3 biggest web hosts available, but they absolutely blow away the other 2 when it comes to the support. If you click on support, you can always talk with a real person. Just click start a live chat, and someone from the HostGator support team will answer any question you have if I'm not around. And I won't mention the other 2 big web hosting companies because I don't want to bash on them. But the fact that I use HostGator for myself and I'm successful with them, I hope speaks volumes. And of course, you also get all these things like $100 to try out on Google AdWords to advertise your business, easy control panel, free website templates, and the money back guarantee, along with the uptime guarantee so your site will never go down. Pretty cool. And remember, this stuff is really easy. So to get started, just click on web hosting or click get started now. They'll do the same thing. Let's click get started now. And once you do that, we'll be presented with 3 options, and we want to focus on hatchling or baby. You would get the hatchling plan like I did my very first time signing up for a website if you just want to host one single domain, like yourwebsite.com. And you'd get the baby plan if you want to host yourwebsite.com and your friend's website.com and your neighbor's website.com and so on. We're going to get the hatchling plan today because that's the most chosen option for a beginner website builder like we are, but you can always upgrade at any time. So click sign up now. And the mascot is named Snappy, by the way. Once you're on the HostGator order form, it's time to get started ordering your domain name and your hosting, both from this same page. In step 1, we need to choose a domain name. Or you can choose, I already own this domain name, and write in a domain name that you already purchased somewhere. And I'll show you how to connect it with the hosting. Just go through the hosting steps right now first. In our case, I'm going to show you how to register a new domain name in case this is your first website, which I know that it will be for a lot of people. So go ahead and enter your domain. And then click away, and HostGator will check to see that it's still available. There you go, that's very nice. But if you entered in something that was not available, it will come up red, and you'd have to choose another domain name. Let me know if you have any issues with this part. Make sure that only the .com or only one extension is checked, whatever one you want, but there's no need to get more than one right now. And then come down and uncheck Add Domain Privacy Protection. We don't need that right now. In step 2, choose a hosting plan, and we've already decided on Hatchling, which is a great choice for all of us. We just need to set the billing cycle to 12 months. Perfect. Now it's time to enter in a HostGator username and a security pin, and make sure to write those down somewhere safe where you'll never forget them. Once you've done that, you can move on to step 3 and enter in all your billing info, just like you would any other purchase for an airline ticket or something on Amazon.com. And of course, I'll do that in a second so that no one can steal my credit card info. Then in step 4, it's time to uncheck the additional services. Again, we can always add those later on, but I don't think you need them for what we're going to do today. Alright, so then come on down to step 5 and step 6, where it's time to start looking at our order total. And if you're anything like me, when you signed up, you want to make sure that these numbers are perfect and as low as they can be, and you're going to be double checking and triple checking and all that. So I want to give you confidence that you're doing this right and walk you through each one of these numbers so you know what they mean. But before we do that, why don't we just enter in a better coupon code right here. HostGator gives us this promotional coupon, but I have a better coupon you can use, which is just Dear Blogger 2015. So whatever it said in coupon code, replace it with Dear Blogger 2015 and click validate. Lowercase is fine, and it'll save you 50% on your hosting order. So that'll save you a greater amount than what they were offering before with that coupon. And it looks like our hosting add-on came in. So when you do that, you just need to make sure to uncheck additional services again, and then come down, and our total is looking good. And you can use that money to spend it on your business, or go out to a golf tournament like I'm doing tomorrow, or just go get lunch, whatever you want to do. And I hope it works for you. So let's look at the numbers now that we're getting our discount with the discount coupon. We have a domain name registration for $15 a year, but because we have the coupon, it's a lot less. It's just $6 for the year, which is amazing. Unheard of good prices right there. And then we have our Hatchling hosting plan for $107.40, but that's discounted for 50% off. So if you go up again, that 12 months now becomes 50% off with the coupon. The only better deal you could get would be to register your hosting for 36 months, and then we'd get you 57% off. But otherwise, this is the best discount. All right, of course, I want my viewers to get the very best. And then 57 or 53.70 plus 5.99 just equals $15,969. The subtotal here is just a total of the black numbers right here, the black numbers on the left, and the discount is just the
total of the green numbers. Alright, so you don't really even need to look at subtotal and discount. Just focus on amount due, and if it's under $60, you know you're good to go. Alright, very good. We're almost ready to check out now. And I'll let you know that when you use this coupon, I get credit for sending you to HostGator, and that part doesn't cost you anything. It's just one of the many ways that us YouTubers make our humble livings over here, getting credit for recommending a service. So I really appreciate it if you use my coupon and save a larger amount with HostGator. Thanks very much. I only recommend the things that I use and love, and I know you're going to be happy at HostGator too, because I've been there for several years now. So welcome to the family, and it's time now. We're done with this part. It's time to click checkout now. So let's just click that button, and before you do it, make sure that your email above is entered in correctly, because the next step will take place in our inboxes, where HostGator is going to send us important information to install WordPress. Double check your email. Alright, now let's check out now. Next, you're going to see a congratulations message from HostGator. Great job. You can close that message and then head over to your email inbox. And we're going to see this new message from sales called hostgator.com, your account info. So let's open it up. And we're going to use this information to log in to HostGator and install WordPress the easy way there, without any coding or any of that. It's going to be really easy. But real quick, I want us to open up our website checklist again, because we're now done with our domain name, and we've got our hosting. And we got those both from hostgator.com. And if you've made it this far, congratulations, you're doing a great job. Now it's time to install WordPress onto our new hosting and our domain name. And then after that, we're going to install the Vantage theme and create the content. But we first just need to install WordPress. So let's do it. And we don't need this little note at the bottom anymore. And head back to the HostGator email. Quick note, which is that if you got your domain name before this tutorial somewhere other than HostGator, like if you got it from GoDaddy and you're using that domain name to build this website, you now need to enter in your first name server and your second name server at that specific registrar to connect the domain name with the hosting. And then just come right back here and proceed to install WordPress. And of course, if you got your domain name at HostGator, you don't need to do that step at all. Just make sure to save this email somewhere safe or print it out. It's so important to me. I made a label for it in Gmail, so it's right here. And what we're going to do now is you can click on the Your Control Panel link. And this is the HostGator backend called cPanel. It's going to ask us for our username from the email, which is right here. You can right click, copy it, or just write it in, and right click, paste. And then it's going to ask us for this password from the email. Alright, so copy that and come back. And there we go. And now let's log in. Alright, and once this page loads, we're going to close the message. Remember, this is super easy. We're just going to use the one-click WordPress install that you might have heard of before, and that almost every professional web developer uses to make websites. Once you're done installing WordPress, you can come back here and try out all the free, amazing features HostGator offers, like their Google AdWords credit and so on and so forth. All those things live right here in your new cPanel. But for now, what we want to do is scroll down to where it says Software and Services right here and click Quick Install. Alright, and on this page, we just want to scroll down again and click Install WordPress. We can see we're using the free option. Using our installer, you can do it yourself, which we like. We don't want to pay anyone to install WordPress for us. We want to save as much money as we can and install WordPress for free, like it says right here. So just click the gray button for Install WordPress. And now in this section, in the drop down, we can select our domain name, and you might just have one, but I've built more WordPress websites than I can remember. And now we want to leave this section blank right here. Don't put anything in this little window. And now write in your email, ideally the same one that you gave HostGator so you can keep everything in the same place. A title, which you can change later, that's not permanent at all. An admin user, which will be your WordPress username, so make that good. You're going to be typing that in a lot. And your first name and last name, which is less important. This part is really important though. Make this part what you want to use to log in every time. Double check that your email is right again. And now we're going to install WordPress. And if this is your first time, then it's really exciting. I want to say congrats for making it this far, and let's keep going further. Let's really get this done. And don't worry, if you followed the steps in this video tutorial, you're doing everything the right way. So now just click Install WordPress. And while quick install is working, you might want to get up and take a break. It won't take long though. And it says your install is complete, so that was really quick and awesome. And we can close that window. Next, what I like doing is leaving this window open until I've confirmed that I can log into WordPress and that everything's working. So what you can do is just click View Credentials, and it'll show you your new WordPress admin area username and password. And leaving this page open, we can just click the admin area link. Open in a new tab, just click it, it will open in a new tab. And it looks like WordPress is ready, but if it's not, don't worry. In almost every case, you did everything right. Your files are just sort of settling into place on the internet, and it might take up to an hour. But if you're in a big city with lots of servers updating quickly, then you should be able to log in, like of course we all want to do right away. We just need our quick install password. So let's copy that and use our username from this little window, and let's log in. Paste the password, and we can click Remember Me. And it's also a really good idea to bookmark this page right here, because this is your login window to WordPress. There are other ways to get to this screen. For example, you can always write in your domain name followed by a /WP -login or -admin admin. You can always write that in, but I like just bookmarking this page. So bookmark, done. And now let's log in. Very nice. Welcome to WordPress. We can now close the Quick Install Marketplace window because we're officially in WordPress. And we can also open up our website checklist and check off Install WordPress, because that part is done. Did it for free. Great job. You now have the same software that Fortune 500 brands use on their websites, and you probably saved yourself about $500 that a web developer in your town would charge to install it for you. So great job. Next, the first thing we want to do is change our password. So let's just go to Users on the left, click Users, and then click on your name, or your username rather. And then come down, and we can see I have a profile picture from Gravatar. You can do that if you want. That's free, and I recommend doing that so that your profile picture shows up in comments and places like that. But for now, we just want a new password, and we want to click Generate Password. All right, and then write in a new password that you'll remember, really safe, and then we're gonna click Update Profile after. All right, so I'm gonna make sure to hide it, and then just write in a new password. And it's okay if it's weak, I don't mind that, but you might want to make it stronger, up to you. And then confirm and update profile. You can also change the dashboard color scheme here if you want, but I just like going with default, and that's about all we can really do on this page. Pretty cool. You might come back here from time to time, but for now, I just want to welcome you to the dashboard which we're in. And to officially welcome you, we can click Dashboard. Alright, so that's where we are in the WordPress dashboard. The way the dashboard works is it's what's behind your website. It's the back end or behind the scenes of your website. And to click to the website as the whole world will see it when it's done, just click this button in the upper left. So this is what your website looks like right now. And to get back to the dashboard, just click there. And you can go back and forth like that. When you want to see it or when you want to edit it, you can click there. And you can see the little icon changes because we're going to the home page or we're going to the dashboard, which is this little speedometer icon. And if you click dashboard, it's the same thing. This button will go to the dashboard and this button will go to the dashboard. Same thing. And you can also right click and open that link in a new tab, which I like doing. So we can see both the dashboard and the front end of the website. Alright, so there are a couple more housekeeping items I want us to do so we're all on the same page. The first one was to change our password, and the next housekeeping item is just to go to Settings, just hover on Settings, and click Permalinks. And when you're in this area, you just want to click Post Name. That makes sure that our links that we publish are simple and clean, and Google likes that. We want our links to be Google SEO friendly, and because I'm a blogger, you also have my SEO knowledge here if you'd like. So just click Post Name and make our links simple. And then click Save Changes. And you're done with the second housekeeping item. And the third one is to delete our plugins, delete the old plugins that our site comes with. So now let's click on plugins right here. Alright, and your site might come with other WordPress plugins depending on when you set it up, but we just want to delete all of them so that we're all in the exact same place and we can build the exact same website. So with me, just check this box by plugin to select all. Next, from the drop-down list, choose Deactivate and click Apply. Alright, and now we want to click the plugin box again. In the drop-down, choose Delete and click Apply. And confirm that we want to delete the selected plugins by clicking OK. And we zapped them. And when we click Plugins again, the page will be empty. We're going to install our own set of plugins that work great with the Vantage theme. I just wanted us to have a fresh slate. Speaking of the Vantage theme, it's now time to install the theme. So follow me and click on Appearance, and it'll take us to our themes library in WordPress. And at the moment, we own 3 themes. We own 2016, 2015, and 2014. You can click them open to read about them, and they're great. The WordPress team provides us with 3 free themes to try out. And currently, we have 2016 active, meaning our website displays the 2016 theme. But of course, we want to add a new theme. All right, so let's just click Add New right here, this button at the top. And we can see the themes that WordPress is featuring and the popular themes and the latest themes. And we saw some of these in the introduction to the video. It's one huge advantage you have in WordPress. You can instantly try out thousands of amazing looks and play around with them and, pick the perfect one. But for now, I think the perfect one is Vantage because a lot of themes are hard to work with and don't look great, but Vantage looks great and it's easy. So where it says search, just type in Vantage and click enter. And in the upper left, we have the Vantage theme. All we need to do to use it is click install. And now we need to click activate. Alright, and so we just activated Vantage. Great job. You just activated a new theme, perhaps for the first time. And you can see that you own a copy of it now for free. Isn't that cool? If you check out your website, you can see that the old theme is here, but when we refresh, it's going to look totally different because we got a new theme, a new foundation to our home, our website home. All right, so this white background and the black border and the hello world is going to look different right away. That's how themes work. They change your whole website, and we get to build with them now. So we can refresh the page and see what I'm talking about. And there you go. You just installed a perfect copy of Vantage. Great job. The nice thing about Vantage is it comes with demo content, so our site looks decent right away. But of course, we're going to change all of this and customize all of it the right way. Let's open up our website checklist and check off Install Vantage for free. Great job. And you're also done with the housekeeping items so that you know your site will run perfectly as you move forward. Next, it's time to create content, and I couldn't be more excited. So let's begin to create the content that will make our website. Let's do it. The first thing our website needs to become a complete finished product is the recommended plugins. And plugins extend the functionality of our WordPress website. They help it do more. So let's install those plugins, and after that, we'll start creating pages. To begin installing plugins, click back to the dashboard in the upper left. And then at the top, it should say this theme recommends the following plugins. And there's a list, and we can click begin installing plugins right here. All right. And then we can check all the plugins by clicking at the top left. And from the bulk action, select install and click apply. Great job. Our websites now have 3 plugins installed, which we can see if we click on plugins. Let's activate these 3 plugins so we can actually use them. Click the upper plugin checkbox. From the drop-down, select Activate and click Apply. Alright, great job. Now I'll show you how to manually add a new plugin. To manually add a plugin, click Add New at the top. And do a search on the right-hand side, sort of like the themes looked like, but we're in the plugins library now. Do a search for WP Video Lightbox and click Enter. And we want to install this plugin so that our homepage button can click and open up in a new video about your website. We need this plugin to set up that feature. So click Install Now on WP Video Lightbox and click Activate. Let's click Add New again and install the plugin that will be used for our social media icons. It's called Lightweight Social. And you don't even need to click Enter. Alright, and here it is right here in the middle. Sometimes WordPress gets it right, and other times it's a little bit further back, the plugin that we want. Click Install Now on Lightweight Social Icons. And click Activate, and we'll be able to easily insert social media icons around our website now. And Add New one more time. And let's do a search for Meta Slider. Meta Slider is the famous free WordPress slider. And here she is. Click Install Now. Activate. And you now have what's, in my opinion, the best free image slider gallery plugin for WordPress. Your website now has all the plugins which it needs. And now is as good a time as any to download the Vantage images and the creator's guide I've set up for you so you can complete this tutorial. Just visit the link to the Vantage theme demo on the WordPressExperience.com, and where you see the link for download images, click Download Images. And the same thing for Creator's Guide. Click Download Creator's Guide. The Vantage images contains the hero image and the about page images of the kittens and Michelle and I. and the icons and the logo, and the creator's guide contains screenshots of how your pages should look when you're building them so you can follow exactly. I'm going to open up just the creator's guide right now by clicking the zip file. You want to click that, and then you want to open the folder that results. Just click that folder to open it, and in this folder I'm going to show you the plugins list right here called plugins-list. The folders and the files just have dashes in them because that's the standard for the web. We don't want spaces. And when we click plugins list, we can see an exact reference of the plugins you need. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And on our website, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's how we're going to be using the creator's guide as a reference. So you know you're doing this exactly right. Next, it's time to add pages for our website. And then once we add the pages, we're going to start dropping content in them. Because we're making a website with WordPress, we're going to do a lot of our building in the Pages tab. So click Pages. If we were creating a WordPress blog, we might do a lot of our building in Posts right here. And if you want to add a blog to the website later on, you can always do that. Just let me know. It's pretty easy. But Posts and Pages operate in a lot of the same ways. They just appear in different places. And by the way, installing those plugins won't make your site look any different right away. We have to actually use them, which we'll see how to do. For now, make sure you're in Pages and then trash the sample page. Just click Trash. Next, click Add New at the top. And we want to add a page called Front Page, which will serve as our home page. All right. There are some necessary settings on the right-hand side. In Page Attributes, make sure the template is full width page, no title. And then come down and make sure it's none on Meta Slider. And then keep scrolling down to Page Settings and make sure to uncheck Page Title Display, Masthead Bottom Margin, Footer Top Margin, and make it so that none of these are checked. And now we can publish this page. Great job. We need 3 more pages, so click Add New. Alright, and then make a page called About or About Us if you want. And in the right hand side again, in Template, choose Full Width, no title. And come on down and uncheck Page Title Display, Masthead Bottom Margin. But in Footer Top Margin, we're going to leave that part checked for now. Alright, so just one of these things checked. Footer Top Margin, check Enable. And then come up and click Publish. Alright, now Add New again. You get the picture. And this page is going to be called Contact. You could call it Contact Us, or Reach Out, or Get in Touch, or whatever sort of title you want, but we just want Contact for now. And by the way, when you write in some words in this bar, they'll show up in the permalink to the page, which is pretty important. You want this part to be simple and explain the page. So if this says Contact, this should say Contact. If this part says Get in Touch, then this part should also say Get in Touch. On the right hand side again, for Page Attributes Template, choose Full Width Page, no title. And then come on down and uncheck all these boxes. Great job. Now scroll up and publish. And the last page we need is the credits page. So click Add New. And right in credits, this is where we'll give a link back to all the tools we use where we need to give attribution. For a template, we want to keep the page title, so just choose Full Width Page. And you're good to go. We can leave Page Title Display, Masthead Bottom Margin, and Footer Top Margin checked. And publish. Alright, your pages are now made, and you can view them in the Pages tab. Now I want to show you how to set up front page control. We're going to set this front page as the home page of our website so that we can control exactly how it looks. This is a lot of times what web designers do so that they don't have to view the blog posts or any other default content on the home page. To set this up, hover on Settings on the left and click Reading. Next, in Front Page Displays, just select Front Page Displays a static page and not your latest post. And then in the Front Page dropdown, select Front Page. Perfect. And then Save Changes. If you want to set up a blog page later, you'll just create a new page called Blog, and then in Post Page, select that blog page. And any blog post you publish will show up there. But this accomplishes our front page control. In fact, now when we look at our site and we refresh it or click on the title up here to refresh it, our front page will look different. Instead of the demo content, this just shows the new page we made called Front Page. Next, I want to get rid of this demo slider because it's beautiful, but we're going to insert our own beautiful content. So come back to the dashboard and navigate to Pages. Whenever you want to change your home page, you'll now go to the front page in Pages. And again, this is how professional web designers do it. Alright, and on the right hand side, we can see that Page Meta Slider shows the demo slider. So let's change that to none and update it. And now let's refresh our site. And we can see the slider is gone and we're ready to start building our homepage. Great job. It doesn't look like much, but it will soon. To create a menu right here so that we can easily jump to different pages, we need to go to the dashboard and hover on Appearance, Menus. We need to create a new menu for the site. Even though this shows up, it's not a real menu yet until we create it. In this area, give your menu a name, Main Menu, and click Create Menu. This is just how we do it in WordPress. Now I want to remove everything that's in the menu area just because we want to put things in there and not have them in there automatically. Remove, remove, remove. And then in Pages, Most Recent, click Select All and click Add to Menu. You can now rearrange things. So we want the front page at the top and then About. And the only really important one is that the front page is at the top in the first position. And when we open it, we can rename it. So it's just called Home. And close it. Before we save our menu, make sure to select a theme location so that WordPress knows where to put it. Primary menu is good, and save menu. And now when we refresh the site, this section will look different. See how we have our own customized menu now. And if you want to rearrange things and save them, they'll now show up differently here, or you can add different tabs to the menu. To set up our front page hero image, the massive image that we saw on the front page, let's go back to the dashboard and click on Pages. And we want to be in the front page, so click on Front Page. Alright, and now we're going to check out Page Builder. In the olden days, the two ways to make a WordPress page were in the visual editor, which is like Microsoft Word, or in the text editor, which just shows some code that you create when you write in visual. It automatically appears in text. But now with Site Origin Page Builder, we can click Page Builder and make a page with drag and drop. And this is exactly how we want to do it because it's fun and easy. To set up the way our homepage looks, we just need to click on Row first. So click on Row. And then in Set Row Layout, bring that down to one column. We can see how we can divide a page easily into multiple columns though, and start to see the beauty of Page Builder. For now, just one column is good with even and left to right. And click Insert. What we're doing is creating the canvas to drop content into to make our homepage. or to make any page. And to start dropping things in, we need to click Add Widget. Just click Add Widget, and then choose the Layout Builder. Great job. What we can do now is update the page to save our progress. So we can click Update, and then we can see if it looks different. And it does, because we have a little bit of white space in our canvas to put in some content. So let's do it. Let's put in content. Back in our page editor, I want to click on the wrench right here. And this is where we're going to set the background image of this entire page on the outermost row. On the wrench, we can hover and then click Edit Row. Now it's time to open up Design on the right. And once you do that, in Background Image, select Image. Alright, and this will automatically take us to the WordPress media area where you upload pictures, icons, logos, and more. So let's select files, and we can just use one of the images from our Vantage Images folder we downloaded. There it is. Just double click, and let's select the beach cover image. So double click just that file. And WordPress will upload it. It's a very big, beautiful image of the beach I took on my iPhone. Alright. For now, we're just going to learn how to insert this image onto our websites and to make it look good. But if you want a full tutorial on how to take photos with the iPhone and then get them onto your website, please just click on this button right here, and I'll show you the exact steps for how to get the photo from the real world to your computer to the website and how to resize it and stuff like that. Alright, so for now just click Done. And let's click Done again. And let's update the page with our background image in there. And let's refresh. And we can see that the image is there, but there's not enough space, so we only see a little bit of the image. We want to see the entire image so it fills up our entire screen. And to do that, we need to insert some content on top of that image. That's how we do it. Back in the page editor, let's open up Layout Builder. And the beauty of Layout Builder is it's like a page builder within a page builder. I know that's confusing, but bear with me, it's going to make a lot of sense. Just make sure your page looks like this with the row and then one layout builder, and then hover so you get the white glove and click and open up the layout builder. And now click row. Alright. And set the row layout to one column again and click insert. And now we're going to make another row with two columns and insert. And we're going to make one more row with a one column layout and insert. Alright, cool. To rearrange the rows, because we actually want the two column row in the middle, just click on the up down arrows and drag and then drop. Perfect. Alright, so let's put in some content. To write in some text on top of our image and then give it spacing so we see the entire image, first click in our upper row and click Add Widget. And now choose a Site Origin Editor, which is just a rich text editor like Microsoft Word. And then click to open it up once you insert it. And now it's time to write in the headline that we want on top of the image. And for ours, it's just Adventure. Next, I'm going to click Enter and write in the subheadline, which is Every Day and Take Yourself to New Heights. Just like that. But you can write whatever you want that describes your business or your website. And once that's done, we want to style it a little bit. Alright, so let's highlight Adventure. And in Paragraph right here, we can see, by the way, we have our full suite of editor tools. In Paragraph, choose Heading 2, which will make the text bigger and whatever style Heading 2 is. And now for the subheader, choose Paragraph Heading 4. Now let's highlight the text again and click Align Center. Great job. And lastly, I want to highlight it like that. And for text color, hit the drop down and choose white. So we can't see it now in visual, but if we click text, we can see exactly what's here. This is exactly what's in this content area. And visual is the pretty version of what's in the content area. Alright, so we know it's there because it's sitting here in text, and WordPress has created this little code munch for us. And we just want to click done, alright, because it's there. And now comes the fun part. So we have some text on top of an image, but to space it, we need to click layout, and we need to add some padding. Padding is just spacing, invisible spacing around a widget or around some content like the text. So with me, just type in 20 up top and then 2 on the right, 20 on the bottom, and then 2 on the left. And the way this works is clockwise, starting at 12 o'clock. 12, 3, 6, 9 for top, right, bottom, left. And so it looks good. Choose EM instead of pixels. Alright, that's just a different website measurement. And once you've done that, we can click done. Once your screen looks like this, click done. Alright, and now click update. Great job. And I want to also make sure that on that background image, which is in row, you have it set as a tiled image for now. That's good for now. And click done. Alright, with our padding in that layout builder, we can now right click on this view page link that WordPress gives us and see what we made. And you've just created your first hero image with some nice text on top of it. To insert buttons on top of your hero image right beneath that text, it's really easy. Just go back to the front page and open up the layout builder where we're going to be adding all this content to our front page on top of the image. And in the middle row, just choose the left column right here and click add widget. You can see just how easy it really is to click site origin button. There it is. Alright, and then click to open up the button. So to create a button, we just need to enter some basic information like button text. In our case, we want about us. And then we need a destination URL. And if you have your site open in another tab, you can just hover over our menu tabs, in fact, and right click and copy the link address. Or you could click through and copy the URL up here. Once you copy that, just paste the URL in destination URL. And that could also be a link to a third-party website or to a download or something like that. Maybe you want to send people to a different page you manage. Now come down and open up design and layout. And we want align center. For a button theme, we want to change it to flat. And for button color, just open that up and choose the standard blue. Great job. And leave font size normal, rounding slightly rounded, and padding medium, and click done. Very nice. Now when we click done and update, and go back to our home page by clicking on the title, we'll have our very first button, and that looks cool. It's a nice flat about us button, and it works. Alright, so let's add another button there, and then let's move those buttons closer together. To add the second button, we have to go back into our layout builder, click into the right column, and click add widget, click site origin button, open the button, and then for the button text, just write out contact us. And for the URL, we can right click and copy link address on contact, and then paste it in. You get the picture. Isn't this all nice and beginner friendly, guys? So open up design and layout, and we want to make this button theme a wire, so it's transparent with the wire theme. And for button color, choose blue again, or whatever you want. Alright, and then click done. And of course, you could give your button an icon if you want, but we're going to put icons on different pages of our website to keep the home page simple. And click done. Now our buttons will be spread out. they'll be on the left and on the right. But if we want them a little bit less on the left and a little bit less on the right, we can actually take advantage of the row columns. So what we want to do is click Edit Row, and we want to make the row layout more columns by just clicking up on this little arrow or writing in a new number here. I'm going to raise that number to 6. And it might take a second to, fill itself out, but we can click Done, and it happened at the last minute. So now we have 6 columns for this particular row, and we can drag the buttons to the middle, which means that they'll be condensed in the middle of the screen. And we can see the result when we click Done and Update, and then refresh our site, and the result is actually very pretty. To make our headline and our subheadline a little bit bigger, we can go back to Edit Page and open up the Layout Builder, and then open up the Site Origin Editor where that text lives now. And I'm going to show you how to write a little CSS on your own as a beginner. I know I said this tutorial wouldn't require any coding, but if you can learn a little bit more and it's easy, then I say why not? So put your mouse right after where it says FFFFF semicolon. Put it right after this semicolon, and make sure you're in the text tab and not the visual tab. When we put our mouse after the semicolon, we're ready to write in a new CSS command. And the first one is color. We can see it right here with this structure that I'm going to highlight. And so what we want to do is hit space and write in the font-size command, colon. And I'm going to make this font size just 1.5 ems and hit the semicolon again. And do the same to the subheader, font-size, colon, 1.2 ems. Alright, with that in there, it'll work if it looks exactly like this. Click Done, and click Done again, and click Update. Now when we refresh, the text will be a little bit larger and it looks a little bit nicer. Next, I want to show you how to create a custom logo for your site. And after that, we're going to insert the logo inside the header space so that the header takes up as little space as possible. The best websites today have logos and menus that take up less space so people can get right to your content and don't get distracted by other things and end up leaving your website. To create a custom logo, let's open up a new tab and visit logomakr.com. That's logomaker.com. Alright, and once you're on this blank white screen, just click on the T for text and write in whatever your logo text will be. When you click on the text, it's going to give us the font option. And while of course you can play around to your heart's content, for now I want to keep it simple and modern in this category of font and change it from able to comforta. There we go. We can also drag the corner of this text to make it bigger, of course, and that's good. Next, we need an icon to go to the right of our text, so we can search graphics for sailboat and click enter. And now we can choose this cute little sailboat icon from the many icons available. Alright, and then we can drag it. And once you drag it, you can click the arrow to resize it. That looks good. We'll just position it near the text. And what we need is a new color. We want this to be a different color. So let's see how to do that. How do we choose the right color? Well, one way to do it is to pick a color that's already in our hero image. So let's see how to figure that out. What I'm going to do is hit Command-Shift-3 to take a screenshot. And then I'm going to open a new tab and type in pixlr.com. Pixlr, which is another tool for making logos. This one's a little bit more like Photoshop, so I try to use it less and try to use Logo Maker more. But you can just click Launch Web App on Pixlr Editor and then click Open Image from Computer. And now on desktop, we'll have our screenshot. Alright, and so I hope we know how to take screenshots. If not, I'm happy to help out, or you can just Google how to take a screenshot on whatever computer you're using. It's really helpful in web design as you build more websites. So let's choose that screenshot. And of course, this Pixlr will work on any computer you're using. And now we want to click on the color box. Just open up the color box, move it aside, and when we bring our mouse back over the image, we can see that we get the eyedropper. And all we need to do is click in a nice space with a nice color, and that color will come up on the right hand side in our palette. And I want a bright yellow. Perfect. Once we have the right color, you just need to highlight this 6-digit hex, right click and copy it, and then come back to the Logo Maker and just paste that in down here. Just double click and paste it over what's in there. And then the color will change. Pretty cool. We can change the color of everything on our logo by clicking the paint bucket, and then just click on the icon itself to make it the color you're choosing. Perfect. Once our logo looks perfect and the way we want, we need to crop it. In the bottom right, there's this crop button. So click crop, and Logo Maker will understand the size of your image. And if it gets it wrong, you can just pull it in or pull it out, and then click enter. And once we've cropped our logo, click the save button in the upper right. Click save. Good stuff. And we want to keep this window open and click here to copy credits. Click that. Alright. And now back in our site. I know we're doing a couple things at once, but I'm confident that you're getting good enough that you can follow everything. Alright, come back to our page editor. Because we've saved our logo now, it's already on our computer, we saved it. We just want to make sure that we get these credits we copied onto our site. Alright, so on whatever page you are on, click Pages. And then click Credits. And we're going to insert our first credit. You can just drop that right in the Text tab. Text tab right here. Just drop it in by pasting. Alright? And that's just done right away, so we make sure that we're following the rules and giving credit to the creators. What you should do now is find the logo on your computer that we downloaded. Because I'm on a Mac, I'm going to click into the Finder, but if you're on a Windows or a PC, you can open up your own Finder, and I'm going to click in Downloads to find the logo. And once I do that, I'm just going to rename it so it doesn't look confusing like this. I can't stress how important it is to name every file that goes on your website, because then you can find them later on when you want to use them or edit them. So let's call this Vantage Sailboat Logo. Easy as that. Click enter and click away. Now to insert the logo onto our website in place of this default text logo, we need to visit the Customize area for the first time. You can get there by clicking Customize from your homepage, or in the dashboard area, hover on Appearance and click Customize. And this is where a lot of the WordPress editing goes on. It's where the creators of Vantage, if you remember Site Origin, intends on us doing a lot of our editing. So it's a good place to be. Just click on Theme Settings and click on Logo. And now click Select File. And click Upload and select files. And WordPress will search our computer. We can just type in Vantage. Alright, and there's the sailboat logo. And you can click Enter or Open in the bottom right corner. Great job. Now we need to click Choose File. And there it is. And I want to check Constrain Logo Height. And click Save and Publish. Now when we refresh our site, we'll get a nice logo in place of that text logo. To insert this logo within the navigation menu so that our header takes up less space, we want to go back to Customize and click back and then click on Layout. And now come down to where it says Masthead Layout and choose Logo in Menu and watch as WordPress does its thing. Very nice. Now just click Save and Publish. And when we refresh the site, we'll see our logo positioned in the header, just like professional websites do, like apple.com and so on and so forth. If the logo is a little bit offline at first, don't worry. Just click around to different pages and it'll figure it out in a couple clicks. Great job. Now we can insert that play icon on our homepage beneath the buttons and set up the video pop-out feature. And you can use the play icon in our Vantage images. If you open up Finder or however you search files on your computer and go to the desktop and then open up the Vantage images, I've given you two different play icons to choose from. I'm going to hit spacebar to preview them. So one is the orange and one is the yellow option. Or now that you know how to create a logo and an icon on Logo Maker, you can go ahead and get a new icon to use for that play icon and expand on your creativity that way. But we're going to use the icons in our Vantage Images folder. All right, so let's edit our homepage. And by the way, you never want to click Edit Homepage at the top up here. Don't click that because it'll take you to the wrong homepage editor screen. Just go back to our pages list and click on the front page. And now we can open Layout Builder. And we want to insert that icon in the bottom row right here. So click to highlight and click Add Widget. And now choose Site Origin Editor again. Very nice. And click to open it. To insert one of the play icons from our Vantage Images folder, just click Add Media. Alright, and now click Upload Files, select Files, and you might have to go out a couple folders to find the Vantage Images that we downloaded earlier. You can download that at any time from the written guide to this tutorial. Double click. And then let's go with the yellow icon, which will match our logo in yellow. Double click on the yellow play icon. And once it's uploaded, make sure that the attachment display settings say Alignment Center, Link to Attachment Page, and Size Full Size. And click Insert into Page. Alright, very good. So we can leave the icon like this and click Done, Done, and Update, and let's see what we made. Refresh the homepage, and we now have a nice play icon. But we need to change it a little bit. We want to make it smaller, and we want to make it so you click and get the video, not when you click and you get this file that's the image itself. To do that, come back to Edit Page, and let's go back in Layout Builder, Site Origin Editor, and now we need to go to the Text tab. So we can click Text, and I'm going to walk you through how to make some basic edits to this image HTML. Alright, and this will actually help you a lot in the future because it will show you how images work in WordPress and on the web, and how you can change how your images look and what they do. Alright, first we need to get a link to the video that you want to pop out when someone clicks on the icon. And you might have made a video in your own production studio for your company or for your advertisements. But I just want a video by Project Yosemite because it's a good nature video. Alright, and here's the video. To use a YouTube video, just click on the URL and then copy it. And then we can come back to our edit page screen, and where it says href on your screen, inside the quotation marks, just highlight everything in there and then click delete, and then hit Command Paste. So you paste in the link from YouTube. Alright, now that's done, and we can check that the link looks good because it starts with the HTTPS and ends with the end of the YouTube video link. Alright, great job. The next step is to change what it says in rel equals. So again, we're going to change what's in the quotation marks. Just highlight what's in there now on your screen and click delete. And then write in WP video lightbox. Alright, and then this part is done. Just leave it looking exactly like that. The next thing we want to do is edit the image class part that says img class. And we want this to just say align center. So you can delete everything after center. Like that. Alright, good work. And now we want to leave the src part alone because this pulls in the play icon. If you don't have the src or the source, you won't have the play icon itself. So don't delete that. But come over to where it says Alt and delete the entire Alt section. So highlight this much and click delete. Very good. And now we just want to change the width and the height to 75. Highlight the 150 and make it a 75, and then highlight the other 150 and make it a 75. And you're all done. You now know how to edit images on WordPress and on the web in general, and your skill set just went up a ton. So once you're done here, click done. And now click done again and update. And let's see what we made. You can refresh the home page and our play icon will shrink because we made it 75 by 75. And when you click it, you're gonna get that nice pop-out video centered perfectly in this white background with the overlay feature, so it shows a little bit of our website. And of course we can click to play. Oops, have my headphones in. There we go. Alright, really great job. Alright, and our home page is done. Now we're going to create the About page. And if we click there, there's not much to see, just an open space to put in our content. What I recommend is using our Creator's Guide, and I'm going to open it up to show you why. You just need to find it. It's on my desktop right now, and depending on where your computer downloads files to, it might be in Downloads or Documents or Desktop. And when you find it, if you open it up, we can see I've laid out the blueprints in here based on what page we're working on. So the home page we just made consisted of the home headline, which we set up with the different font sizes and text, and the home hero image in the outer row. This would show you how to put in the background image on our home page and make it a tiled image. And the home video we just made, this would show you the exact structure for that. I just think you guys want a visual copy of all the pages we make along with this video how-to, so you can follow exactly what I'm saying now and do that start to finish, or you can use these blueprints as well. And of course, with the About page, there's going to be the screen we see in Page Editor, which will be laid out like this. And there's going to be a row, which will have a background image. And we're going to create all of that right now, start to finish, in the video. But if you want to reference these blueprints, then go ahead and do that as well. And this is the text, text 1 and text 2, and so on, laid out conveniently. All right, now that you know these visual guides are here, let's start creating the About page. On the About page and on the credits and on the contact, we can click Edit Page in the top navigation, but on the home page, we don't want to click Edit Home Page. All right, just something for you to remember. So on About page, we can just click Edit Page. All right, and I'm also gonna right click on View Page so that we can see what we're making. Now we need to click Page Builder, and we need to set up 4 rows. And again, if you want to see the exact layout before you start building, just open up that creator's guide and click on About Page and open that up, and you'll see the structure. So I'm going to use this stuff too from time to time. If I open it up, it's just because I really think it's helpful. Alright, and we need to create 4 rows. So let's click row and make that 1 column, insert. And now click add row, 1 column, insert, add row, 1 column, insert. And now add row, 3 columns, insert, and let's put that one in the 3rd position. So drag on the right and drop. Perfect. And now let's set up that image that looks like Snapchat at the top of the About page. So highlight the widget area and click Add Widget. And now click Site Origin Editor. And make sure you're in the Text tab. So now what we can do is open up our Vantage Images folder we downloaded earlier. And I'm just going to use Finder, but remember that might be in your documents, your downloads, or your desktop. Mine's on the desktop, and once you find it, I would put it on the desktop so that you can always find the folder. And then open up Vantage Images, and now we can open up the file called Copy Paste Text. Just double click, and we can see that I've created some nice text that you can just use right out of the box. And it's sitting right here. It's these 3 sections. 1, 2, 3. And the first section is called About Headline. You'll see those words there, About Headline. So just copy from where there's a P to the other P like this. Copy that section, just 2 lines, or 1 line if your file is wider like this. And then come back to the Site Origin Editor and paste that in. Great job. So this is the text I've written for the demo website. But if you want to change the text or write your own, as I'm guessing you will, just change what's in between the alligator right here and the alligator right here. So you can edit anything in between those alligators, but don't delete the alligator brackets themselves. You can delete this part, like, hi, my name is, and go from there. Alright, and I've just put in that CSS at the beginning so that it'll look good and that you don't have to. Alright, we're just going to use this text exactly as it is right out of our copy-paste text file. And now on the right hand side of your screen in Widget Styles, we can open up Design, just click on the white space, and now we can set the background image for this particular area. So where it says Background Image, click Select Image. And now we need to upload a new file and select a new file from our computer. And that image is, you guessed it, in our Vantage Images folder. So double click to open and choose our About image. Double click. And once it uploads, click Done. And now for background image display, we're going to choose Cover. The cover will make this image look better. And now just click Done. Alright, and we're going to go through and build out this entire page before we preview it, just in the interest of everyone's time. And I'm confident that it's going to look great. So you should be too. But before we move to our next row, I want you to remember to hover on the wrench and click Edit Row, because I know I often forget to do this, and click Layout. And then for row layout, just choose Full Width Stretched, and that'll make this row look really good. And click Done. Alright, and now we can select our second row and click Add Widget, and we can choose the Site Origin Editor that we're getting so good at. Let's open it up, and we have our Visual tab, but we want to be in the Text tab because we're going to paste in some more text from our copy-paste text file. Alright, so let's open it up again. It's in Vantage Images, copy-paste text, double click, and we're going to go with the second portion of text, which looks like this, and it's called Subheadline. Just copy that from your file and come back to the editor and paste. And of course, you can change what's inside the alligator brackets that I've highlighted right here. Now on the right in widget styles, open up layout and write in a 4 all the way across the board for padding like that. And then we can choose M. And this will give us enough white spacing around our text that people can actually read it and focus on it. And click done. Alright, you're doing really great. Let's keep moving down to these 3 columns where we're going to insert site origin images. So let's highlight the leftmost widget area and click add widget. And then choose our site origin image for the first time. Alright, and open it up. As usual, there's a ton of settings we could customize, but we don't need to edit any of them because it already looks good. Just click choose image and then select our beach cover and click set media. We're going to use this image on the home page and the about page. Alright, so your page should say image size full, image alignment default, title position hidden, and bound right here. Check bound, but don't check full width and don't check open in preview. And click done. And we need the middle image, so select add widget, site origin image, open it up, click choose file, and now we need to upload another image. So click upload, select, and we're going to double click on our lean back Grand Canyon image. Alright, very nice. Click set media once it uploads, and then click done. Now for our third image, highlight the widget area, click add widget, site origin image, open it up, click choose media, upload, select, and our third image from the Vantage images folder is the cat's profile pic. Double click it. Alright, very good. And click set media. And click done. The nice thing about this site origin image is it knows how to resize our images. As long as these images are in the landscape orientation, so they're wider than they are tall, they should all fit nicely so they look like they're the same size on our page. If one of your image is taller than it is wide, you're going to need to crop it down a little bit so that it's wider than it is tall. In other words, you want 3 images that are landscape or 3 images that are portrait style. Alright, so now in our bottom row, select it, click add widget, and choose the site origin editor. Open it up and make sure we're in the text tab. And now let's go back, open the copy paste text file, and let's get our last little text munch. Highlight this part that talks about Michelle and Leroy and Snowy and the kittens and Brooklyn. Copy it and then paste it in. And we're almost done. You can change the text in between the alligators that I've highlighted right here, but we're just going to use it as is. Make sure to click on layout and put in those 4s across the board and click M so that the spacing will look good and people can read our text. And click done. Alright, I'm feeling pretty confident of our about page, and we can just click update. Alright, this is pretty exciting because we added a ton of content. Let's refresh and see what we made. Alright, not bad. Not good, but we've actually set up a page. All we need to do is tweak a few settings to make everything expand a little bit and look perfect. And believe it or not, this is what a professional web designer would probably do for you. They lay out all the content in a page like this, and then they just tweak it to expand different parts of it. So let's see how to do that. We can go back to edit page and open up our handy creator's guide again. So there it is. And I'm gonna see what sort of padding is on the about top row, this row right here. And And we can see that there's some padding on it of 48 and 4800, which is humongous. So let's add that in there. All we need to do is click Edit Row on the topmost row and click Layout, and for padding write in 48, 0, 48, 0, and change that to a percentage. And we're just using percentage because it's a large percentage of the page. Now click Done and Update. And we're going to refresh our page. All right, so things definitely expanded, but we want the image to be expanded. All right, so if you see a screen like this, you know that we did something wrong. We have our text in the right spot, but our image is clearly not in the right spot. So let's go back to Edit Page, and let's see that we have our image on the Site Origin Editor in Widget Styles as a background image. And this is the wrong place. We want to click Remove that image, click Done, and we actually want to put that background image on the outermost row. All right, we want to hover on the gear, and we can edit row and open this design area and set the background image in this position. So click Select Image, find our image again, click Done, make sure to choose Cover so it'll look good, and click Done, and now Update. And so before, the background image was right behind our text, and the padding we set up on the row was pushing that image to the middle. Now when we refresh the page, our background image fills up the entire row, and the padding we set up just pushes the text to the center. And that's just how we want it. Great job. Just make sure to put your background image on the outermost row by hovering on the wrench and clicking Edit Row. I might call that a gear before, but put that image where it says the wrench and the Edit Row. Don't put that background image on the Site Origin Editor part of it. All right, very good. I think we're all now advanced enough to use another one of the plugins we installed. And we're gonna leave this page right here. Don't change this tab because we want the edit page screen open. So find a new tab like this one, and now come down to Appearance and click Custom CSS. And we're gonna make use of the Site Origin CSS plugin. All we need to do here is copy and paste in some CSS I've written for you. But the way that it can be used is you can click on the eye right here, and it will examine your entire site, and then you can click on a specific area and you can edit it in this panel on the left, and it'll write the CSS for you, and then you can preview it and save it. But we're just going to do it the easy way. All right, so come back to our copy paste text file in Vantage Images, and we want to copy everything from .about headline down to this closing bracket at the bottom. Copy this portion and come in and paste it, and then just hit save. And what that'll do is communicate with the different pieces of text we inserted in our about page, because we have that about headline written in and that sub headline written in this section. This is our about headline, and these are our sub headlines. And when we refresh, that custom CSS will tell it to be bigger and bigger, and up here it'll tell this area to have the background transparent overlay and the text centered and large in the middle. Pretty cool, huh? Just a little bit of WordPress magic. The last thing we need to do on our about page is make our 3 featured images stretch across the page. So come back to Edit Page, and we can come over to the wrench on our 3rd row and click Edit, and now click Layout, and let's make this row layout full width stretched, and click Done and Update. And now let's refresh the page, and our images have become bigger. They were big images to begin with. Now they're just allowed to fill up more of the page because our row is stretched out. All right, and we can see our page is so close to being done. To make it 100%, I'm just going to show you how to get rid of this white space in between the images because no one likes that little spacing. All you need to do is right click in the white space. Just right click and then hit inspect. Alright, and you should be in Google Chrome, by the way. I should have noted that, but this tool is for Google Chrome. And if you're not in Google Chrome, just download it for free from Google and open up your site in Google Chrome and then follow this step. Just right click to the right of one of these images in this white space right here and then click inspect. And now in the right, you'll have the styles area highlighted. Don't click anything yet, but just bring your mouse over to where the gray text is. And then right over the word grid, just click once and it will highlight. Now right click and copy. And because your page is a slightly different page than what I'm making, these numbers will look a little bit different, like the 7 and the 1 and the 7 and the 3. But as long as it looks very close to what we have here and you copy it, you're good to go. And as long as it says padding left and padding right, you're good to go. Just come back to our custom CSS window, make a few spaces at the top, right click and paste. And then now write in with me what we're gonna write right now. Make a bracket like this that opens and write padding dash left colon 0 semicolon, enter, padding dash right colon 0 semicolon, enter, and make sure to put in the close bracket. All right, so not one of these, but one of these, just like that. All right, and then when we save the CSS, we can come back to our about page and close the inspect window and refresh. And now we've told our page to get rid of all that white space around the featured images, which was just padding. There was 15 there before, and now we told that space to be 0 and 0. And our about page is complete and looking great. Amazing job. Now let's complete our credits page, where we already have one credit from the sailboat icon in our logo. And remember, we were on Logo Maker and we just copied that little line of credit right from here and then pasted it into our credits page right away so we didn't forget to do it. To add another credit, you just need to click Edit Page and then make sure you're in the Text tab because we're going to copy in some HTML. When you copy the credits from Logo Maker or from many other places, they'll give you something that looks like this, and it's good to be in the Text tab to paste that in. We can open up our Vantage images again, the copy paste text file, and at the top where it says arrows graphic, we need to paste in this credit. So copy this section and make sure to paste that in there if you are using the play icon for the home page. Alright, you need to give credit like this. And I put those exact credits for the play icon we chose in our copy paste text file like we just saw. And then update. Alright, looking good. To create our image slider for the credits page, we want to come back to the dashboard and click Meta Slider. Then click Create Your First Slideshow. And click Add Slide. And now upload the images or photos we want and click Select Files. And here we are in Vantage Images where we want to be. And we're going to choose Slider 1 3, and 4. I guess I should rename that 2. And click enter. And we're just uploading 3 images at once to the slider. But you could upload 1 image at a time, or 4 images, or whatever you feel comfortable doing. Alright, and so here are our 3 golf pictures for the golf slider. And we can click add to slider. And what Meta Slider does now is puts those in up top. Just give it 1 second. Alright, I think it's working. Alright, now you can hover on the images themselves and you can delete one of them, or you can click and drag the slides to a new order. And then on the right we have some interesting features like different types of slider, but we're going to stay with Flex Slider and click hidden to remove the navigation dots. And then you might want to also change how the slides transition, or the width and the height. Let's save it and see how it looks. But before we can see how our slider looks, we need to actually insert it onto our credits page. Alright, so click edit page, and then make a couple spaces beneath our last line of credit. And then back on the meta slider page in usage, we'll see a shortcode. You can just copy this section. Make sure to include the 2 brackets in there. And then we can paste that in. Alright, and that's just one way to add a slider. You can also click add slider, and you can insert it like that. But we're just going to do the shortcode and update. And let's view the page. And we're looking pretty good. We have our first image slider, and that'll make the credits page just look a little bit prettier for your audience. Back on Meta Slider, if you're going to set up multiple sliders, you should click in this little name box and write in a name like credit slider, and then save. Alright, great job, and we can move on to the contact page. Alright, and to edit our contact page, I'm actually just going to navigate in the pages area over to contact. And now let's click page builder. Our contact page needs 3 different rows, so click row. Let's choose 1 row and insert, and then we can do that again. Add row, insert, add row, and then let's make a row with 2 columns, insert, and drag the 2 columns one to the bottom. Excellent. In our top row we want a Google map, so click to highlight and click add widget, and then just choose the blue gear and site origin Google Maps to use yet another widget from our site origin widgets bundle. And once you've inserted it, click to open. Alright, and it says in red we need an API key. So let's take care of that right away. Site origin will link us to the right place. We can just click this blue link, and it'll take us to the Google developers page. Alright. Now if you wanted to become a little bit of a Google developer part-time or something, or get familiar with the Google APIs, this is a good place to start, and having a WordPress website in general is a great place to start. But for now, we just need to come down and click get a key to start using Google Maps. Alright. Create new project now, and then create and enable API. Alright, you're all set. Your API key is here, and just click on this little icon to copy that key. Then come back to WordPress and paste it in. Alright, and you have access to your first Google API. Great job. Now we're going to change the map settings. We want it to be interactive, and we want the height to be 300. We do not want scrolling over the map to zoom in or out, so people can scroll up and down the page without moving the map. Uncheck that. And the last thing we need at the top is just a address. So I sometimes work at Chelsea Market at Google on Manhattan, so I'm gonna get that address. And you can usually find an address of where you work or where your company is through Google. Copy it right from the Google search results and bring it back. Where are we? There we are. And let's paste it in where it says Map Center. Alright, we're all done on this screen, so click Done. And we've created our first Google map. We just want to make sure it stretches out across the whole page. So click Edit Row, Layout, and set the row layout to full width stretched. Done. And update. And let's see what we made. Now when we refresh the contact page, we have a good looking Google map. Great job. To get rid of this white space above our Google map, come back to the page editor, wrench, edit row, click layout, and let's make the padding 0 across the board for this row. And click done. Update, refresh, and we're looking great. Alright, now we need to insert a headline beneath our Google map. Come back to page editor, and we can do that in the middle row. Just click to highlight the row and click add widget. And what are we going to use? We're going to use our favorite site origin editor. So select that and then click to open. And now we can stay in the visual tab and just write out a headline. Alright, and I'm going to say, for WordPress help, visit our fast, free, and friendly forum at the WordPressexperience.com, exclamation, but you can write whatever you want. And then we can highlight and center our headline so it looks nice in the middle of the page, and click paragraph heading 2 so it's bigger. And then I just want the WordPressexperience.com to have a link on it so that people can actually click it. So highlight the link anchor text as it's called and click insert edit link. And I'm going to go through this adding a link part slowly because sometimes the link can get removed for people. So click that button and it will create the link, but don't click away yet because it'll remove the link. Alright, so highlight anchor text, click, and now we need to actually tell the link where to go in this box. Alright, so you can always visit your site that you're linking to and just click in the URL bar and copy the URL and then paste it in this little bar. And then click the arrow to apply. You can also click the gear and check open link in new tab, which we want to do, and then we can update. Alright, so now the link is set up, but we don't want to click the X, even though it looks like we might to get out of here. We just want to click away, over here. And we've made our first link. Now just hit layout and let's set up 4 M's across the board so that there's enough white space around our headline. And we're done with the headline. Great job. Update. Refresh the page and we're looking good. So that looks pretty good now for my contact page, but if you wanted this to just say something like get in touch, then that's cool too. Alright, next we want to make these featured icons below our headline. So back to the edit page and click on the left column of the bottom row and then add widget, and we're going to learn how to use the site origin features. That's what these icons are called. Alright, click to open, and now to set up the icons we just need to start by clicking add. We can add 1, 2, 3, 4 features with 4 different icons, and the settings below down here apply to all the features and all the icons. And I know that we want the container size to be 60 and the icon size to be 40. So it's a pretty big icon in a little bit larger container with a background color. We also want just one feature per row, and the responsive layout should be checked. And we're good. Now we can move up and create our first featured icon. Just click anywhere where we get this 4 arrow mouse sort of thing. You see how the mouse changes? Alright, so make sure you get that and just click on the first feature. We can start by writing in the title text, which is going to be join our fan page. And that will become the name of the feature because it's the title. And what we want to do is skip text, but write in some more link text, which is facebook.com/dearblogger, where you should go for blogging and WordPress tips. But you can put in whatever page you manage right here. And then for more link URL, we want http:// and essentially the full link with the www part 2. And we're doing that so that the text that shows up is a little bit more brief, and when people click it, they go to the real link. Alright, and now we can choose our icon. There's thousands to choose from. It's really awesome. But we just want to click ion icons. You might have thought that when you saw an icon on the web, it was some fancy code or genius artist work, but all you need to do is just choose the right icon in WordPress. Facebook icon is good. Click it. Now let's select an icon color. Select color and write in that bright yellow that we're going with in the logo and in the icons around the site. And that's just a hex color of #FFF370. Alright, now I just want us to click done and update our progress, because sometimes the site origin features widget will go away if we make too many changes to it and don't save it. So update it. And now let's click view page. And we can see what we've done. Alright, so it's pretty cool. We have the icons and we have a bunch of spaces to add more icons. Let's go back to edit page and open it up again. And we want to make sure that the container size is 60, icon size is 40, one feature per row with responsive layout. Sometimes this widget is just a little bit feisty. Done, update, refresh the contact page, and now they're lined up vertically because there's just one per row. And we can fill in the remaining 3 feature icons. Alright, let's open up the second feature at the top. Title text now is just email us. We're going to skip text again, and for more link text we can write out our email address. Make sure we get that right. And then for more link, we're going to make it so people can click on that email address and it will open up an email on their computer. To do that, you need to write mail to, : and then the email address right after that. And that will create a link on the email address. Choose an icon now. Ion icons are good again, and I just want this check mark box right here that will look like an email is confirmed, you got mail. Close that feature, open another feature, and call this one give us a call. And for the text, that could just be a phone number. So we're going to use the text this time. Alright, we just need to choose icon, ion icons, and in ion icons we can find the exact same phone icon that iPhone uses, which is pretty cool. I think I missed it though. There it is right here. Choose that, and then let's make it yellow again so the colors are alternating. FFF370, but you can make that whatever color you want. Alright, and then close this feature and one more feature. which is just called mailing address. And for this text, we're just going to use the address of Chelsea Market, which we used for our Google map. Copy that again from Google, paste it in, choose icon, ion icons, I like this home icon a lot. And I believe we're all set. Let's just click done and update and refresh the page. All right, our icons are now all set up. To give ourselves some more white space at the bottom of the contact page or at the bottom of any page, just go back to page editor, and in page settings on the lower right, we're going to enable the margin above your footer and update. Refresh, and there we go. What we could also do though is come down to the bottom row in the contact page, edit the row by hovering on that wrench first, and then in layout, padding bottom, we can give ourselves a few more M's. I like going with M's for this part. All right, but we don't want them everywhere, just on the bottom. Update. All right, so we can see that doing that will potentially move the entire feature icon widget. So having a 0 in some positions is actually can be a little bit dangerous. And instead of using this padding area, we want to use the bottom margin area, because that will just apply to the bottom of this widget, not the right or the top or the left of it. 2 M's. Update. Refresh. And that's a little bit better. To complete your contact page, we just need to insert an actual contact form where your audience can write in their name and email and then send you a nice message. And most websites these days and most YouTube tutorials use a bland white contact form, which no one likes using and basically tells people that they'll never hear from you ever. So we're going to improve on the standard and use a Google form instead, which is a lot more user-friendly, gives you more design options, and tracks all the responses for you in a nice spreadsheet. All right, so let's see how to insert a Google form. What we want to do is Google Forms, or just Forms really. And then click on Google Forms. Click Go to Google Forms. And it should log you into Drive. If you haven't set up Google Drive, go ahead and do so now. It's free to use and totally powers any business. I use it almost every day. And once you create a Drive, you'll get your little profile picture there in the upper right with your Google account synced. And we just want to click on Start a New Form blank. All right. Pretty cool. And now I'll walk you through how any web designer would create a Google form. First, click on Untitled Form and create your own title, like Get in Touch. Next, we have one sample question right here. And if you click out of the title and click onto the question, it will let you edit it, or we can delete it, which we want to do. Trash to delete. Now click on the plus to add a question. That's what each individual section is called in Google Forms. It's just called a question. So we can change this one from multiple choice to short answer, and then write in full name. All right, and that'll give someone a nice little space to write in their full name. And let's check required. Click plus again, and let's write in email address. Make it required, and make sure to change it from multiple choice to short answer. All right, now we just need one more question, plus, and just enter in your message. Change from multiple choice to paragraph this time so that people can write a long answer text instead of short answer text. And let's make it required. Great job. There are some other options like title and description, add image, add video, and add section that you might want to try out. But for now, this will get the job done for us. In the upper right, we can choose the color palette, and I'm going to go with gray. And then where you see the eye icon, click on preview, and we can see how our form will look on a real website. Make sure there's no typos and it looks great. Close that. And this part's actually kind of confusing. We just need to click send now. We're not sending it to any specific person unless you have some other designers or people collaborating on your team. You can email them what you just made right here and include the form. But we just want to embed the form in a website, so click on these two little alligator brackets. And then we can click on the iframe to highlight it. We can also change the height from 500 to something like 900 so that people don't have to scroll within the form on the page. And now just click copy. Copy to clipboard. Now just come back to our website and click on the right column at the bottom. Add widget, site origin editor, open it up. Let's go to the text tab because we're pasting in an iframe, which is some code, and paste in the code from Google. Alright, so this is what your form would look like in the code version of it. If we go to visual, we can see there it is, looking beautiful. Alright, and just click done and update. And let's refresh our contact page, and we should have a nice, beautiful Google contact form embedded on our contact page. Our contact page is done, great job, but there's one last step. To make sure that you find all the messages that people send you through your new contact form, go back to Google Forms, click out of the send area. In the upper left, make sure to name it. Alright, so if you click once, it'll just pull in the name you chose, which is fine. Again, you could be as elaborate as you want when you design your form, but we want to click on responses. Alright? We can see we're accepting responses, but what we need to do is click right here on the green plus to create a spreadsheet. Create new, get in touch responses, looks great, and just hit create. Alright, and what we have here is just the criteria that someone has to put in the form along with timestamp. And we can change timestamp to date sent. This spreadsheet now serves as the home for everything that people send you through the contact form. So let's test it out. Let's say that Jane Doe is on your Vantage website contact page, and she comes down and she's so excited about your services that she wants to get a quote. So she's going to fill in all her information and then write out her message. And then when Jane hits submit, she'll see that the confirmation is there, your response has been recorded, and on your end, you see Jane's response in real time in your spreadsheet. Very nice. So it's all working as is right now. You would just need to check your spreadsheet every day or once a day or whenever it works in your schedule to get back to your customers and your audience. But to take it one step further, we can click Tools, Notification Rules, and notify me at Greg Narayan, or your email rather, this will be your email, when a user submits a form, and notify me with email right away. That way Google will email you whenever someone submits through the form. And save that rule. And then click done. And you're all set. You now have a better contact form than 99% of other websites out there, and certainly better than other websites built with other YouTube tutorials. Hope it works great, and I hope you get a lot of messages through that form. Alright, you're now done with all 4 pages on our new website. Contact page is done. Credits page is done. About page is done. And our home page is done. But there's one more section which applies to every page, and that's the footer. So let's create our footer. To insert social media icons in our footer, I'm first just going to close up the tabs up top, come back to our dashboard, and hover over Appearance and just click Widgets. That's where our footer lives, right here in this blank space. To add things to the footer, you just need to choose from the available widgets, and we want to choose lightweight social icons. Just click it, select footer, and add widget. Alright, and now we can select how our widgets look. They have a background color and icon size and border radius, text color, text hover color, and background color. But the most important thing is to add icons now. So let's add from the drop down. The first one is going to be Facebook. And we can visit our Facebook page to get the right link. Alright, I really do think you should check out Dear Blogger, where I'll answer questions on blogging, SEO, how to make money on a blog, how to design WordPress, and pretty much everything in between. Let's just copy that link. And I'll also post announcements about videos like this on that page. I really do think you should join. Alright, and paste it in. Add icon. Twitter. We can go to Twitter to get the link there. Click on the name, and there we go. And we can insert our Twitter profile link. Add icon again, and maybe you have an Instagram page. Alright, maybe you've been gramming a lot and are becoming famous on Instagram. I, however, have not, so I'm just gonna write in what I think is the Instagram homepage, instagram.com, and click save. Alright, now let's refresh our homepage. And we can see those three icons are there and they're working, looking very nice. To make your social media icons open in a new tab, just come back to Widgets, open up Lightweight Social Icons, and click Open Links in New Window. Alright, and now I'm just going to change the color scheme. I want to make the hover color a little bit cooler. I'm going to show you how to find the color of our footer right here and then make that the icon color when we hover. And then I'm going to make the background the yellow that we've been using from our sunset yellow. So I'm going to show you a little trick. Let's right click on the footer and hit inspect in Google Chrome. And it'll show us the color right here in background. Just need to click now and we can right click, copy the 6-digit hex, which is the exact color of the footer and the navigation header. And then back in widgets, I'm going to make that the text hover color. So paste, make sure there's only one £. And I'm going to make the background hover color our signature sunset yellow. If we remember, it's FFF370. Pretty cool. Now let's save it. Make sure to always save your widgets and refresh the page. Alright, so now our icons look the same to the naked eye, but when someone hovers over them, they'll get that nice reverse color effect. And when one of your fans clicks on the links, they can go and check you out on Instagram, and this will hopefully help you grow your following. We're done with the social icons, and the last step is just to change our copyright. To create a custom copyright, go back to the dashboard, hover over Appearance and click Customize. Now just click on Theme Settings and click General. And in the Site Information text bar, we can write in our own copyright. To get the copyright symbol, just look up copyright symbol in Google, and you can copy that right from the search results. Alright, there's no copyright on the copyright symbol. And then paste it in. I'm just going to write in 2016 and then my name. And that'll show up at the bottom of the website, right there. Just save and publish. Refresh. And we're looking pretty good. And then enough of you have asked me how to remove the site origin theme credit section as well. So I figured out how to do that. You just need to go to the dashboard, leave the customize area, and come over to where it says appearance. And then hover over appearance and click editor. And we have to actually change the hard files behind your theme. Just come down to where it says footer.php, open it up. And then in this section, you want to delete the entire second to last line that looks like this section I'm highlighting. Alright, you might want to copy it in case you need to put it back in, and then delete. Alright, get rid of that white space and update. And now when we refresh, that theme credit is gone and we have a completely customized copyright area. Alright, congratulations on making it through this entire website tutorial. You now know how to make a website with the Vantage theme and how to make it better, in my opinion, guys, than 99% of websites out there. Why? Because it's simple and it just plain works. I hope your audience loves it, and I hope you can go and share this with the world soon. If you have any questions about how to customize this website, let me know in the YouTube comments below, and I'll get back to you hopefully the same day. And additionally, check out the WordPressExperience.com, where you can use our new forum and chat with other people who are probably using these tutorials or my other tutorials right now and going through what you're going through. You are not alone. Last but not least, please make sure to hit thumbs up on the video if you learned something. Please post a comment. I'd love to hear from you. And if you have a friend who's interested in making a website or a blog in a do-it-yourself fashion, please make sure to send this link to them via email. It would help me so much. If you give a man a fish, he can eat for the day, which is great. But if you teach a man to fish and you teach him where to fish, how to design the fish, he'll be eating king salmon with caviar on top the rest of his life. And he's gonna love it. And I really believe in that. Alright guys, I hope you could use all of our free resources in the Vantage images and Creator's Guide folders, and we can finally check off our last step in the website checklist because we're done creating content for now. More soon. Thanks so much for watching, and I really enjoyed making this video for you guys. Alright, see you guys. Thanks for watching.